Welcome back to the What We're Watching podcast. I'm Megan.
And I'm Jeni. And today we're talking about everything we know about the new Hunger Games Sunrise on the Reaping movie, which is coming out this fall.
I'm screaming. I feel like I'm late to the party here because I didn't really start getting like all of the hype on my social media about this movie until the last couple weeks. Week maybe? But I know that you've been really excited about it for a really long time, so I'm so excited that we're talking about this.
Me too. I'm like, finally I have someone to talk to. I think your experience is probably what most people are seeing right now because the new trailer did just come out. And I think that gave people like a renewed sense of hype. So
you'll be able to catch us all up
on
what's been going on. Perfect.
Because I've been hyped for like a year.
In this episode, we're breaking down what we know about the Hunger Games Sunrise on the Reaping, including the first trailer that just came out and all of our thoughts about it. We'll also dig into the cast and tell you which cast member grew up making Peeta Mellark fan edits and now stars alongside him, and which one was literally raised in a cult for 15 years.
Can't wait.
I can't wait.
I do want to give a note that this episode is spoiler free. I feel like that's very important to people. It's very important to me. We are only including info that we know about this movie from Catching Fire, the book and the movie. So a lot of Haymitch's story, which is what this movie is going to cover, was actually already given to us in Catching Fire a really long time ago. And we'll also cover what we see in the trailer and what we know just based off of cast names, but we'll not be spoiling anything from the book.
In case you missed it, we recently covered the America's Next Top Model docuseries, which was a dark and twisty episode, but I loved it.
Truly.
We also covered the Hannah Montana 20th anniversary special. We had lots of thoughts, good and constructive. And of course, the Bachelorette cancellation, since you guys know that we were planning to cover the Bachelorette on the pod. So definitely go check out all those episodes if you're interested. And even more fun, last week we posted a throwback episode of our Shrek recap, and we got lots of fun messages from you guys. So thank you for the love on that episode.
I think I'm obsessed with Shrek, actually. I was like, what episode should we throw back to? What's a good like spring episode? And the only thing that came to mind was Shrek.
It was a perfect choice. Also, a reminder, if you've been enjoying the podcast, to send our show to a friend and leave us a comment if you're listening on Spotify, or a review if you're listening on Apple Podcasts. We love hearing from you guys.
And we have some comments from Spotify that we're going to read right now. We love to read these on the pod. On our America's Next Top Model episode, Alice said, I watched this recently and was horrified, but also couldn't look away. And then it's that emoji, like hiding eyes emoji. So I was happy to see that I'd get both your inputs on it, and I definitely agree with what you guys said. I feel like Tyra took no responsibility for anything, and it was infuriating. Also, justice for Shandy. Thanks, gals, for not being afraid to talk about these hard topics.
Thank you, Alice. This is like the best type of comment.
Especially because we are afraid to talk about these hard topics.
I know. We appreciate the encouragement on that type of thing so much. It's important, I think, that we talk about hard stuff, but it's hard.
True.
Speaking of hard episodes, on our Bachelorette cancellation discussion, Amy said, this was the best discussion I've heard about this headline. Thank you for covering it.
And Annie said, I agree with the comment above. This is the best discussion about this. Season 3 Taylor and Season 4 are two different people. The producers should have checked themselves because this last season was hard to watch. Broke my heart. I was really confused. Frowny face. You ladies did a great job covering this. Y'all are doing an amazing job.
You guys are the best.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I really do appreciate it. Also, that's my sister-in-law.
Yeah, we love Annie. Okay, should we get into Sunrise on the Reaping?
I cannot wait. I'm sweating.
The logline of the movie is, explore Panem 24 years before Katniss's saga, starting on the morning of the reaping of the 50th Hunger Games, where young Haymitch Abernathy participates.
So have you seen the trailer?
Yes, I think.
Okay,
let me watch.
Do you need to watch it right now?
Hang on, let me look right now. Sunrise on the Reaping.
Whoa.
Okay,
so Megan just live watched it in front of me, and her reactions were, oh my God, Kieran Culkin. And everybody is in this.
Everybody's in this. Like, I've been seeing the cast announcements on social media, but like every single shot I feel like was of a different actor, actress pretty much that I know, which is really cool. My main takeaway, I'm not looking at your notes, is the aesthetic is different, which is kind of weird. I don't know how I feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I'm really excited to see it though.
I'm excited to talk about it right now because I feel like there's so much to dig into with the cast and like how the cast was even decided. So we'll talk all about that. The aesthetic, tell me more.
I just always think about the first movie and how it was so like beige and gray and bleak and sad and empty. And like the music was very eerie. And this felt different. This felt very like colorful and grand and like, I don't know. It was just different. It was just a different aesthetic than I was expecting, but I liked it.
Yeah, I'm super interested to see how it like looks in the movie overall because it is like it's a weird mix of like the coldness from the original movies, but also like this colorful backdrop. It's interesting. I think that they look really good, and I'm super hopeful about that. And I think that it makes sense because, and this is not a spoiler, this is from Catching Fire, book 2, but everything in this arena is meant to be beautiful and poisonous. And I think if they hadn't like color graded it in this way, they wouldn't be able to pull that off, you know?
Yeah, no, you're totally right.
Another thing that I noticed about this and that I think people are talking about online a lot is that this movie seems very 70s vibe.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because the other prequel that we have is The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and that one is very like Great Depression vibe.
Yeah, true.
And this takes place 40 years later. So that would be the 30s and the 70s. I mean, that's kind of...
I wonder if they have the same or similar like creative teams, you know? I wonder if anybody is overlapping from that, because that would make a lot of sense if they're trying to, you know, piece together the history and what that would look like. Interesting.
And I wouldn't be surprised because we'll talk about it, but there's a lot of crossover in this movie and other Hunger Games movies with the team.
Cool.
So The Sunrise on the Reaping book came out in March 2025, and the movie comes out November 20th, 2026. And the film was greenlit as soon as the book was announced in June 2024.
Oh, so the film was greenlit like almost a year before the book came out.
Yes.
Interesting. Fascinating. I mean, that reminds me so much of like the Harry Potter series where the last books were still being written as the movies were being made. So did they make these casting choices? I guess they would have made a lot of these choices before the book was even out.
We'll get into it.
Oh,
I have
good.
a whole backstory.
Oh, I can't wait.
Don't you worry. The movie is set 24 years before the original films during the 50th Hunger Games, aka the second quarter quell, and each district has to send twice the normal number of tributes in this game.
Okay, so that was confusing to me from the trailer. In my head, I was going, oh, did they only have to send one kid before this? And then starting here is when they started sending 2? Or does that mean that in these games they sent 4?
4.
Wow, okay.
For each district. Every quarter quell, so every 25 years, they do like some really horrible twist on the games to make it even worse. And so in Katniss's quarter quell, that was the one in Catching Fire where all the victors were the ones who had to be reaped again.
Right.
And then this one is double. I do want to like make sure we're all feeling good about what this is about and we're all caught up to speed. This would be a great episode, I think, to listen to right before the movie comes out too. Honestly, I might refresh myself with that before I watch the movie. What we know about Haymitch before this movie is that he is Peeta and Katniss's mentor. He's the only living victor from District 12, and he's played by Woody Harrelson in the original trilogy. And like I said before, we already knew some of his story from the Catching Fire book, which takes place during the 75th Hunger Games. In Catching Fire, we learn that Haymitch won his games by utilizing the arena's force field as a weapon, which helps Katniss do a similar thing in Catching Fire.
I forgot about that.
We also get some details on the arena and who Haymitch's alliances were in the arena. But the movie's going to share that there was a lot more to it than this, and it also explains how Haymitch became the grumpy alcoholic that we know from the Hunger Games.
That's another thing I kept thinking in the trailer, is that it is such an interesting juxtaposition to see this colorful movie where Haymitch is very young and like presumably full of life because he is so young, to then fast forward to see the like slightly older Haymitch who, just drinks a lot and all the colors are dull. It's interesting.
Totally. And then a quick timeline for you. This is, I think I already said this, but let's just say it right here. This is 40 years after Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which is President Snow's story, and it's 24 years before Katniss's story begins. So this is like the second prequel, if you put it in order.
I'm so excited to be able to watch these in chronological order.
Oh, same.
Like to be able to watch Snow and Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, then to see him in this movie, then to see him in Katniss's movie is going to be so cool.
It's going to be so cool. And I'm so ready to like do a rewatch of everything and maybe a reread of everything too before this movie comes out. Francis Lawrence is back to direct. He did Catching Fire, both Mockingjays and Ballad. So he did everything except the first Hunger Games.
Oh, fascinating. I just totally assumed that they worked with a different director for Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, but no.
Yeah.
Cool.
It is interesting, actually. And then the OG screenwriter, Billy Ray, who wrote the first film, is also returning. Cool. So that's kind of interesting that that's a screenwriter who worked on the first one. And then Francis Lawrence didn't work on the first one, but the other one. So I think we're going to get like a good mix. It's going to feel like the Hunger Games, I think.
I'm excited.
Okay, we have to talk about the casting.
Let's.
I don't know why, but this feels like deep lore to me. So I'm going to like just spill all my thoughts, but I've been really nerding out about all of this. The casting directors are Deborah Zane, who cast the original Hunger Games films, and Dylan Jury, who came on for Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. They are this dynamic duo.
Dream team.
They started casting, like you guessed, before they even read the book or had a script.
Wow.
And for the first 8 weeks of casting before the book came out, they only knew that they needed to cast a young Woody Harrelson, a love interest, and the character Maisily. And they were also told, I think a little bit later, that they would need to cast young versions of returning characters like Plutarch, Beatty, Wyrus, Mags, and Snow. The author, Suzanne Collins, gave them some broad outlines of some of the characters, and that's all they had to go off of.
Okay, wow.
Dylan Jury said, "We had general info and knew which characters would be seen as younger, so we could imagine without needing the book yet. But once we got the book and script together, it was a tidal wave of helpful information so that we could really veer in on who the actors should be." Which makes sense, but I'm just like so impressed that they even like started without any real information.
Totally.
Fans have been dreamcasting who they think should be younger versions of all of the cast before this book even came out. That's just what fans do.
Yeah.
That's just the nature. But it started showing up on my feed more and more as soon as the book came out. Like all of a sudden my feed was an explosion of like, who should play this character in Sunrise on the Reaping? Or it'd be like Sunrise on the Reaping fan cast. And then the casting team started announcing the cast one by one on social media in April 2025, which was a year ago now.
Wow.
And that was only a month after the book came out. Okay.
Okay, now I'm having this like recollection of when the book came out and us talking about this and you being so excited that you had like some people that you could visualize.
Yes. It was like so quick. They wasted no time announcing this cast. And many of the actors that they ended up casting were people that I had seen fan cast already.
Cool.
Jesse Plemons was one of them, Elle Fanning, McKenna Grace, Ralph Fiennes, and more. Elle Fanning, actually, who plays young Effie Trinket, says that the studio was hounded for years about her playing a young Effie before they even knew that that could be a character. Because you have to keep in mind, like, we didn't know that any old characters besides Haymitch were coming back.
Right.
But everyone was like, she would be the perfect young Effie. And fans literally made it happen.
I love that. That makes me like so happy that this team is cast the movie. Because I feel like that does not happen a lot.
They're definitely listening. And it's not confirmed whether fans had a part in the other cast. Like maybe it was just, I don't know, maybe it was leaked or something, or maybe bots. This is my conspiracy theory. Maybe the studio had bots planting these videos of like who would be a good dream cast so that we were already bought in. Okay.
I could see that.
It's really a conspiracy theory, but the way that this film has been so focused on serving the fans and so plugged into social media the entire time makes me think that it might be possible that some of the fan casts literally directly influence the casting. So that's cool.
Love it.
There's also a TikTok of Deborah and Dylan reacting to fan comments from this rollout.
Cute.
One thing they say is like they read a comment that says biblically accurate casting.
That must feel so good.
It must.
Especially because they were doing so much of it like without the book, without a lot of context about the characters. That's really cool.
And casting never gets the recognition that they deserve. I think this is the first year that the Oscars had a category for best casting.
Cool.
I would be shocked if The Hunger Games is not up there for next year's.
That's a good prediction.
Yeah, calling it now. Or else I'll riot. I've been so feral about this. I'm so happy to talk about it. Also, did you know that Lionsgate literally cast a fan in this movie?
No. Who?
Okay. His name is Devin Singletary.
Okay.
He's from Florida, and he's an actor and filmmaker, and he won a contest.
Cool.
As they were like rolling out this cast, they also had this rollout of like this contest. It was like, the next character in the Hunger Games is you. And then everyone could submit their self-tapes and one person would win a role in the film, a real role.
That is so cool. Can I just say, like, I have very mixed feelings about the entire Harry Potter series, okay? But one thing that I, like, feel very nostalgic for about it is all of the hype about the cast and the movies and the books and how the movies related to the books and all of the character lore. Like, everyone cared. It was like so at the center of pop culture. And to be in a new era where we have that feeling again about the Hunger Games, where people are so excited about this type of detail, like fans being cast, and there's, you know, enough interest that there's a contest that people want to apply to, and then somebody does get cast, and then people are so hype about the trailer and they're like leaking the cast a full year in advance of the trailer, and people care that much is just so cool. On top of, like, you know, we're getting that with Fourth Wing and all of the other like romantasy books that are out. It's just really cool. It's like, it's really fun. It just feels refreshing compared to like the TikTok culture, you know, to have people be like, did you read this book? It's amazing. And I want it to be a movie. And this is who I want to be cast. And then that person gets cast, you know? I don't know.
Yeah.
It feels like a long game. I love it.
I think other studios really need to take notes on this because actually, I think Harry Potter needs to take notes on this because it's just like so evident that they really understand the fans and they listen to them. And that's the whole point.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah.
So Devin is playing a character named Blair. I don't think it's a speaking role. It might be. I'm not sure. And it's kind of interesting because the casting directors didn't even get a say in who won this. It was the marketing team.
Huh.
I think we'll see more and more studios do this kind of thing, hopefully. I think it's interesting. And then this, I almost forgot to even mention it, but I feel like it's so important and I can't believe I didn't say it like right off the bat. Have you heard of the Hunger Games short film about this?
No.
Okay. There was a fan-made short film about Haymitch's story that fans just ran with and created after Catching Fire. And like I said, Catching Fire has maybe a few paragraphs describing Haymitch's games. Fans ran with it. They cast and filmed a short film. It's like 14 minutes long or something.
Okay.
It has 14 million views. Came out 14 years ago on YouTube. You can watch it now. I actually haven't watched it.
Wow.
Fans love it so much that they think it's canon.
Wow.
because they really wanted Haymitch's story. And then they had this video that apparently is so good that it's worth being canon. And people were actually scared to read Haymitch's story because they didn't want it to like overwrite what they had before and what they considered canon.
Cute. Oh, I love that.
And apparently the short film is like wildly accurate.
Huh.
Because I think they really just like pulled the right details from that Catching Fire description, and here we are.
Cool. No, that's amazing.
It is amazing. And I think that the Hunger Games production is very familiar with this short film, and I think they've done some callbacks to it.
Wow. Oh, that's going to make so many people so happy.
I know. Like, one of the main characters in the movie, the one that's going to be played by McKenna Grace, in the short film, she had this like big braid hairstyle with bangs. And then McKenna Grace's character has bangs and then like kind of a small side braid that seems to be like a callback to that.
Cute.
And then there are like a couple scenes in the movie that were in the trailer that look like a replica of the scene in the short film. Like they purposely framed it the same way.
Wow.
I know.
I love that.
Warms my heart.
Okay, is it time?
Oh, it's so time. We're there.
Let's talk about the cast. Let's start with Joseph Zeta, who plays Haymitch Abernathy.
He's from We Were Liars and East of Eden. He's 20 years old, and this is his breakout role.
Hell of a breakout role. Wow.
Seriously, it kind of reminds me of Tom Blythe from Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, he might have been in other stuff before, but I feel like that was his big thing. Joseph is Australian. His father, Jeremy Compston, is a director, actor, and doctor. Interesting combo. His mother is a film producer, and his brother, Hal, is in The Walking Dead World Beyond.
Okay, so everybody's kind of dabbles in the business. Cool.
Yes, so he's a little bit of a Nepo baby, but I will say that in the trailer, his voice really does sound like Woody Harrelson's voice to me, and I'm so excited.
Yeah.
He dropped out of high school in 2023 to pursue acting. Also, when I see high school and 2023 in the same sentence, my brain is like, what? He said, "My attendance was too low. They said, if you do that audition, you're not coming back. So I dropped out to do an audition."
No, what's actually crazy, though, is like he was in high school in 2023 and he's 20.
Yeah.
Because in my head, I'm like, no. I'm still 22. I'm a new grad. Okay.
Same.
But like I graduated high school in 2014.
That was a long time ago.
I know. Uh-oh.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is nuts. Yeah, I'm almost at my like 10-year college graduation.
Oof, yeah.
And yeah, that's a big oof. That's like, ooh. No.
No, we're in our prime. We're just entering our prime.
COVID really erased some years off my life. Like
when I tell you my internal clock stopped at 2020, we stopped there and we never really picked it back up. Everything since then, I'm like doing the calculus still when I think about the years. I'm like, how many years since COVID? Certainly can't be that many.
Yeah.
Which, do you remember for a while we were like counting the time like that? Like, wow, 2 years ago was lockdown. Like, do you remember when we were doing that? Yeah.
And like, I still feel that way. Like, I still feel like 2018 wasn't that long ago.
I know.
And then when I say 2018, I'm like, wait, actually, like that was a while ago.
That was almost a decade ago.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's the year I graduated college. That's also why I go back to that, because I'm like, oh, I was out of college for 2 years and then the pandemic, and my head is still stuck there sometimes when I think about the dates, you know?
Yeah, that is so crazy.
Ugh, crazy.
Well, I think it is a universal feeling, sadly. I do think it's the trauma bond of our generation.
Yeah.
And this is the trauma bond of the Hunger Games generation.
That's
the
right.
Hunger Games.
Right. Okay, we have to talk about the person I was the most excited to see in the trailer, who is McKenna Grace, who plays Maisily Donner.
She's from Gifted, I, Tonya, The Handmaid's Tale, Ghostbusters Afterlife, and a million other things because she was a child actor and she was in literally everything. You might actually know her as young Sabrina in The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. which to me was perfect casting because everyone says that she looks just like Kiernan Shipka, who stars in Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. And I get them mixed up a lot. She's 19 now, which is wild to me that she's that young. Again, it's like Joseph. She's also a singer and has an album and several singles. Okay, are you ready for this fun fact?
Ready.
You're going to love it. You might already know it. She was recently in Five Nights at Freddy's 2 with Josh Hutcherson, who plays Peeta in the Hunger Games. She was a huge Team Peeta girl as a kid, and she used to make fan edits of Peeta.
Oh my God, cute. Oh.
And there's a video of her at some event being absolutely mortified to learn that Josh Hutcherson knows that she used to make Peeta fan edits. Because I think she was like playing it cool, like she's his co-star. She was like, didn't tell him. She was so embarrassed. It was so cute.
I love that. Ugh.
Also relatable.
Total. Oh yeah, I would be mortified. And also that would be us making fan edits.
Yeah, if that had been a thing when we were kids, you betcha we would have been making them.
Okay, now let's talk about Whitney Peak, who plays Lenore Dove Baird.
She's from the Gossip Girl reboot, Hocus Pocus 2, and, again, Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. She's Ugandan Canadian, and she's 23 years old. Her mother is a hairdresser, and her father is a Canadian helicopter pilot and engineer.
Wow.
I love hearing that kind of stuff. She went to boarding school and swam competitively before moving to Vancouver at age 9. Again, this is her breakout role, so we don't really know too much about her. But I'm sure we will. I'm sure we'll see her all over the press tour. The character that she plays is a Covey girl who has direct lineage to Lucy Gray Baird, the main character from Ballads of Songbirds and Snakes.
Okay.
So that's how it's all connected.
Okay, now let's get into the younger versions of the characters that we do know, starting with, of course, Elle Fanning, who plays young Effie Trinket.
Isn't she perfect for that?
She is. She's perfect. Like, I knew she was perfect, and I was excited about her casting, and then seeing her in the trailer, I was like, yeah, this could not be better.
That line that she says in the trailer is like perfectly Elizabeth Banks. It's great. She's from Maleficent, The Great, A Complete Unknown, Sentimental Value, Super 8, All the Bright Places, a million other things. She's Dakota Fanning's little sister and has been acting since she was 3. Elizabeth Banks, the original Effie, actually texted the producers herself to say that Elle was perfect and that she's excited for the next generation to have their Effie.
I love Elizabeth Banks.
You stole the words out of my mouth. I was going to say, you love Elizabeth Banks, don't you?
I do. I love her.
Also, Elle just got her first Oscar nomination in 2026 for Sentimental Value.
That's huge. Okay, now let's talk about Ralph Fiennes, aka Lord Voldemort, who plays President Snow.
I feel like that's all we have to say.
Truly.
He's also in Schindler's List, The Menu, The Grand Budapest Hotel, James Bond. President Snow is played by Donald Sutherland in the original trilogy, and Donald Sutherland passed away in 2024. And President Snow is also played by Tom Blythe in Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. So this is like in between those two President Snows, and the character is about 58 here. And this blows my mind because I'm like, how old was he in the Hunger Games then? Ancient? And yes, he was in his 80s in the Hunger Games.
And yes.
I think he was like 83 in the first Hunger Games.
Okay, interesting. When I saw Ralph Fiennes here, I was like, oh, in my mind, maybe because of the way that they make him look in this with his like weird long hair, he didn't look that much younger than President Snow, which maybe that is just a factor of I was so much younger when I saw President Snow that I like couldn't compute the age at the time. But that was interesting to me because I was expecting to see him look a little bit younger than he does in this.
Yeah, I was thinking for some reason, like even when I was reading the book, I was like, he's got to be what, like 40?
Right.
You know? But no, 40 years have passed since he was 18. So
yeah, no, that makes sense.
58.
And I looked up Ralph Fiennes is 63. So this is not that far off.
Okay. I wonder how old Donald Sutherland was in the first movie then.
Please hold.
Oh, look at her. I've got my little research assistant.
Do. Beep, boop, beep.
She's AI,
First time.
actually. Oh,
That's
no.
me. He was 76
Okay.
in the first Hunger Games.
Yeah, see, so he wasn't the age of his character. His character was supposed to be older.
Yeah.
That's why it feels off to us. Interesting.
Okay, next we have Jesse Plemons, who plays Plutarch Heavensby. I must have missed this casting announcement because I was very excited to see him in the trailer.
Yes. Also, I think when he was cast, well, back last year when he was cast, I didn't know who Jesse Plemons was yet.
Okay.
But I feel like he's really popped off even more.
Agree.
In the past few months, or maybe past year even.
He's been in a couple bigger movies, I think, in the last year or so.
Yes, like I'm thinking Begonia specifically. But he was also in Friday Night Lights, Breaking Bad, Fargo, other stuff too. Civil War, I think.
Yeah, that's the one I was going to say.
He's married to Kirsten Dunst, his Fargo co-star, and I had no idea that they were married.
Okay. I learned this, I think I did some kind of deep dive on him maybe after Begonia.
Okay.
And learned this. And now I love them.
Okay. I mean, they seem really cute. That makes me happy. Also, I think they were both in Civil War together, so that tracks.
They give me like a little bit of like siblings are dating, you know?
Oh no.
Do you see that?
The way they look?
Yeah.
They both have very fair complexions.
Maybe that's all it is.
So Jesse's character, Plutarch, is played by the late Philip Seymour Hoffman in the original trilogy. And Jesse actually played his son before in The Master in 2012. So this feels full circle, and they do look alike, so it makes sense.
They look so much alike, actually. I'm looking at pictures of Philip Seymour Hoffman now. This is perfect.
Yep. I think that's why this was a fan cast. People knew.
Mm-hmm.
Philip Seymour Hoffman passed away when there were only 8 days left of filming for Mockingjay Part 2, which is so tragic.
It's really sad. I didn't realize that.
And one of his big emotional scenes with Katniss wasn't even filmed. And so instead of using CGI, they rewrote the scene and they had Woody Harrelson as Haymitch read Katniss a letter from Plutarch.
I'm glad they did that.
Me too.
Okay. Now let's talk about, this is probably the only one that I feel less sure of.
Oh.
And I felt this way when I saw the announcement on social media too. I'm talking about Kieran Culkin, who plays the young Caesar Flickerman. I don't know why. It's not working for me yet. I'm sure it will when I watch the actual movie, but because I love him. I love Kieran Culkin and I love Stanley Tucci, but those feel like do not exist in the same universe celebrities to me.
I was going to say, is he not giving enough Stanley Tucci to you?
Yeah, they just feel different. Like Kieran Culkin feels way more silly.
Yeah.
Than a Stanley Tucci. Like Stanley Tucci really gives like performer as Caesar Flickerman, you know? And whoever they had as Caesar Flickerman in Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes when he was really young, or was that his like grandparent or something?
Yeah, it was one of his ancestors.
A Flickerman. That person felt way more young Caesar Flickerman to me, or like previous Caesar Flickerman to me, than Kieran Culkin feels. However, seeing the preview and like the colorfulness and the like difference in aesthetic for some reason Kieran Culkin feels like he fits that better. So I'm withholding judgment until I see it.
Yeah, I think that's actually very fair to say because I think I just accepted it because I was like, oh, he's a good actor. Perfect. Love it. But actually, I think all I wanted was Stanley Tucci CGI'd a little younger.
100% I agree.
We'll see how he does. Kieran Culkin is from Home Alone, Succession, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, Father of the Bride. You know him. He's Macaulay Culkin's younger brother.
Did you watch Succession?
No.
Okay. Maybe that's where we're having different thoughts on this because...
Okay, his character is very not Caesar in that.
Yeah.
Okay.
If anyone listening watched Succession, please let me know your thoughts because I'm curious if you agree or disagree with me on that.
I didn't know that Kieran dated Emma Stone from 2009 to 2011. Did you know that?
I had no idea. That's long.
But it kind of makes sense to me. They have similar senses of humor.
Yes, it does. It makes sense.
But shocking.
I don't know why it makes so much sense, but it makes so much sense. Like you could tell me they're married. I would be like, yep.
Yeah, same. This is like her Easy A era and like afterwards.
Yep, her comedian era. It makes sense.
Yes.
Silly.
Oh, yes.
Silly. They're silly goofy.
I think they still have a good relationship because I think they've been in movies together since.
Okay, love that.
But he's been married to Jazz Charton since 2013, and they have 3 children.
Oh.
And she's a normie. They met at a bar in New York City in 2012, and she was just like working at an ad agency at the time. I knew you were going to love this. This is why I had to include it.
I love this so much. God, you can't see me, but my mouth has been agape this whole time.
So he sees her at the bar, and this is how he explains how he came up to her. I said, "I'm Kieran. You have an English accent. What's your name?" She said, "Jazz." I said, "Jazz, like the music?" And she said, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, that's fucking stupid."
My God, not a neg.
Apparently she liked it.
Okay.
She was with another man that night. Kieran waited until he left to go to the bathroom, and then he took his seat. And he says about this, "I asked if he was her boyfriend, and when she said no, I asked if I could be her boyfriend. We've been together ever since."
That's cute. That's cute.
It seems very on brand.
Yeah, it does. Weird. He's a weirdo.
And when he talks about her, he's like, super in love with her.
She sounds cool just from this.
Yeah. He's like, "She's the most beautiful girl that I've ever met. I can't believe I'm with her."
I love that.
Yeah, we like that.
Oh, they're cute. Love it. You know who else is married to a normie? Elizabeth Banks.
Oh, yep. I forgot about that.
I think he is a producer now because she's famous and they work together, but
I think same thing with Jazz. I think she's acted since, but I don't know that she was doing that kind of stuff beforehand.
Cool. Okay, now let's talk about Lily Taylor, who plays Mags. And for reference, Mags is the older woman who is allies with Katniss and Peeta in Catching Fire.
Yeah, if you remember, she was the one who was from the same district as Finnick, and they were very close. Lily Taylor is from Say Anything, Mystic Pizza, The Haunting of Hill House, 6 Feet Under, and The Conjuring. Lynn Cohen, who originally played Mags in Catching Fire, passed away in 2020. So this is another instance of the film kind of honoring a past castmate with a thoughtful casting choice. And I feel like Lily Taylor is perfect for it.
Next, we have Maya Hawke, who plays young Wyrus. And Wyrus was originally played by Amanda Plummer in Catching Fire.
She was the one that always said, "Tick-tock, tick-tock."
Oh.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Maya Hawke is from Stranger Things, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Do Revenge, Inside Out 2. We love Maya Hawke over here. Her parents are Uma Thurman and Ethan Hawke. And I didn't know this, but she's married to musician Christian Lee Hudson, and she's also a musician.
Cool.
I know. The casting director specifically called her out as a casting that they were proud of for her resemblance to the original character.
I'm looking up Amanda Plummer right now.
You'll remember her character.
Yeah, I could see that. Also, fun thing that I'm seeing right now is Amanda Plummer was in Pulp Fiction with Uma Thurman.
Wow, wait, that feels extra relevant. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Pretty cool. This is interesting. Why are there so many of these characters returning? Because so many of these characters were in Catching Fire as winners.
Mm-hmm.
So if Haymitch wins this game, then how can they all be characters in this game if they are also winners?
That is a great question,
I
Megan.
don't get. I'm going to have to read the book, I guess.
Or just wait for the movie.
Or wait for the movie.
Yeah, I was not expecting any of these characters to return at all. I was expecting this just to be like a Haymitch story, but it feels fun that we get all of these people coming back.
I'm excited. Moving right along, we have to talk about Kelvin Harrison Jr., who plays Beetee. And Beetee was originally played by Jeffrey Wright in Catching Fire and in Mockingjay.
Kelvin is from Elvis, The Trial of the Chicago 7, which is a movie Megan really likes, Mufasa, The Lion King, Genius, and It Comes at Night. He was born in New Orleans to jazz musicians, and he's a musician himself. Got a lot of musicians in this cast. He studied studio engineering, then marketing, and then he embraced acting. And I gathered that he had been doing acting throughout, but he was like trying to stay in a traditional job. And then he just like fully bought in and was like, no, I'm going to become an actor.
Love that.
Me too.
Okay, we've also got a few new characters and just honorable mentions from the cast that we've got to mention. First off, we have Iris Apatow. Was so excited to see her in the trailer. She plays Prosperina Trinket.
If you recognize her last name, it's because her parents are director Judd Apatow and actress Leslie Mann.
I thought you were going to say it's because she's related to Effie.
I mean,
Sorry.
also that. Her sister, this is Iris we're talking about. Iris's sister is Maude Apatow from Euphoria and The Idol. Her film debut was her dad's movie Knocked Up at age 5, where she played her own mom's daughter. This is how I think you know her. She's real life best friends with Olivia Rodrigo.
Oh, and Olivia Rodrigo is back on the top of my mind because she has a new album about to come out and her single came out and I'm obsessed with it and I just...
Wait, I haven't listened to it yet.
You got to listen to it after this.
Oh, I need to. You told me that when we first started the podcast, you would listen to her first album when coming over to my house to record.
Yes, I still think about that.
Yeah, now it makes me feel a little bit nostalgic about Olivia, even though I wasn't listening at the same time.
Yeah, she's maybe my favorite pop girly after Taylor Swift.
Oh, I love that. I love her music. I don't think I have any skips of her songs.
Agree.
Now we're getting to it. The reason why Prosperina Trinket sounds familiar is because that is Effie Trinket's sister, and Iris is playing her.
Next, we have Percy Daggs IV, who plays Ampert.
He's an important character, so I just want to make sure we hit on him. He is in Paradise and Never Let Go, and he's only about 13 or 14 years old. He's a little baby. He's the son of Percy Daggs III, who played Wallace Fennell on Veronica Mars, for anybody who watched that show. And when asked about his experience shooting Sunrise on the Reaping, he said, "It was an interesting, fun, and wild ride. Being in Germany and Spain was a totally new experience for me, but I enjoyed it so much and made some lifelong memories with my family and the cast. There were long days on and off set, but we made the best out of it and cherished our time out there."
Cute.
I know.
Next, we have Scott Greenan, who plays Burdock Everdeen, Katniss's dad.
We had to call him out. He's from Robin Hood and Mary, Queen of Scots, and he is a Scottish actor, and he's been posting a ton of Hunger Games content on Instagram. It's very cute.
Love that. Then we have Jeffrey Lee Hallman, who plays Clerk Carmine.
The only reason why we're bringing this one up is because in Ballad of Songbirds, he is one of the Covey boys who plays music with Lucy Gray. Like when she's on stage and all the kids are like behind her playing music, one of them is Clerk Carmine.
Okay.
And he was played by Constantine Taffet in that movie, but now Jeffrey Lee Hallman plays him 40 years later.
Cool. And then last but certainly not least, we have Glenn Close, who plays Drusilla Sickle.
What isn't she in?
Truly.
She's from Fatal Attraction, The Wife, Guardians of the Galaxy, Wake Up Dead Man, A Knives Out Mystery, Hook, 101 Dalmatians, which I forgot about. And I didn't know this, but she's Kala, the mom gorilla in Tarzan.
Cute. I had no idea.
And I love that character. She's so sweet. Glenn is very vocal on women's rights and LGBTQ plus rights and mental health.
Love.
And here's where it gets interesting. I did not know this about her. When she was 7, her parents joined the Moral Rearmament, MRA, and were a part of it for 15 years. During this time, they lived in communal centers, and I didn't know what the MRA was, but it was basically a religious cult.
Wow.
She says herself that it was a cult and that it dictated every aspect of her life, from the clothes that she had to wear to what she was allowed to say. And I think she said she felt a lot of selfishness anytime she made decisions for herself. And anytime she wanted to do something, it was seen as selfish.
Wow.
When she was 22, she broke away from the MRA to become an actress. And she said, "I have long forgiven my parents for any of this. They had their reasons for doing what they did, and I understand them. It had terrible effects on their kids, but that's the way it is. We all try to survive, right? And I think what actually saved me more than anything was my desire to be an actress."
And she did it.
And she did.
Wow. What a wild upbringing.
I know. It has affected her a lot. She has been married 3 times, and she blames being married 3 times on her trauma from the MRA and avoiding vulnerability in relationships. She said, "Because of the devastation, emotional and psychological, of the cult, I have not been successful in my relationships and finding a permanent partner, and I'm sorry about that. I think it's our natural state to be connected like that."
Oh, that makes me sad for her.
I know, me too. I am so excited that she's in this movie. I think she was the one that people were most surprised by because she doesn't even look like herself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready for it.
Oh, this is such a good cast. I'm so glad that we took a second and broke down everybody. Thank you for catching us all up.
Of course. And I know we kind of ended on a dark note, so I do want to do like a lightning, fun question round to bring back up the hype for the movie.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, which actor do you think will steal the whole movie?
Elle Fanning.
Ugh, that's a good answer.
What about you?
I didn't think about my answers before. Obviously. I was just excited to ask you. I think McKenna Grace.
Oh, that's a better answer. Yeah.
Oh,
I think you're right.
Or Glenn Close. I don't know.
No, I think McKenna Grace. Totally. Because she's like right on the bubble of being like huge, I think. And this might just like throw her over.
And she's such a good actress.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's so good and always has been. Okay, I might already know your answer. Is there any casting you would have done differently?
You know, Kieran Culkin.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know who I would have picked. I'm trying to think like off the top of my head if there's anybody. But like doing a young Stanley Tucci is so specific. Like, I mean, honestly, I would have picked the guy that whoever they picked in Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes because that was so good. Kieran Culkin could have been in that one. Like, he could have been far enough removed from Caesar that I think that would have worked. So I would swap them.
Okay.
Okay, what about you?
I still think CGI Caesar could have been possible. Like CGI Stanley Tucci.
Yeah.
They proved it in the Super Bowl commercials. I mean, come on.
True.
I think the person that I really wasn't sure about was actually Maya Hawke. I know. I just don't think she looks very much like Wyrus, even though they said they think she does. And I just couldn't picture her as the role. But I will say that my mind has changed after seeing the trailer.
Okay.
And she does kind of sound like Wyrus to me. And I'm excited to see her kind of like flex her acting in this role. Okay. This is unhinged. Would you rather be reaped in the 50th or the 75th Hunger Games? And as a reminder, the 50th Hunger Games is double tributes in a poisonous arena. The 75th is only other victors in a puzzle-like death clock arena.
50th.
Okay. Do you have any reason why?
The victors scare me. Maybe it's just because I've seen that movie already. I'm like, not them. I can't go in there with them. What would you pick?
Well, I think the arena would kill me in both.
Oh, same. I'm out. I'm not winning.
I don't think I'd be smart enough to figure it out. I think my allies would have to figure that out for me, you know? But I agree. I think 50th, because even though there's double tributes, I think maybe they're dumber than the victors.
Right. Less strong. Both bad. Both are bad. Both I die.
Fair enough. Okay, and last, my question for you is, would you rather have Judd Apatow or Ethan Hawke as your dad?
Judd Apatow.
Why? Because he's funny?
Yeah, because he's funny. And just because I follow Leslie Mann on social media and like I have seen more content of them and they just look so fun together, the two of them and their kids.
Okay, so really you want Leslie Mann to be your mom?
Really, yes.
Okay. I think that's fair.
Okay, what about you?
I was thinking Judd Apatow too, because I think it would be fun because he is funny.
I just know more about him than Ethan Hawke.
Same. But Ethan Hawke seems great too.
Yeah.
Iconic.
No hate to Ethan Hawke.
No. Or to Maya Hawke.
Yeah. Oh, but yes, okay, but if we're going with the family members, if Ethan Hawke is your dad, then Maya Hawke is your sister, and that's fun.
And Uma Thurman is your mom.
That's cool.
Whoa.
I still pick Judd Apatow, I think.
I think so too.
Yeah. This is fun. We should do more lightning rounds at the end of episodes.
I agree. If you guys liked that, let us know in the Spotify comments. You know.
Thank you guys so much for listening. This was such a fun episode.
We will definitely be back for the actual Sunrise on the Reaping movie.
Mm-hmm.
And that will be really nice because we probably won't have to get into all this background. We can just give our thoughts on the movie. Can't wait.
Can't wait.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.